welcome back. Today we are going to talk all about signature fragrances, because having your own signature fragrance just really eliminates you feeling like you always need to find one more, something else, and it's something that really is tied to you. It's something that people think of you whenever they smell this scent, or just, it so much is tied to scent, right? So many of our memories, everything. I know that there is a scent that my mom always used to wear when I was younger. She hasn't been wearing it for a while, but when I smell that, I think of her, I think of different memories, and the same holds true for so many that are in our lives that, they have their own signature scent. I remember reading an article one time about, well, I don't know if I should say it on here, but it was talking about not being a scent like a loose woman, where you would just be up for any and every scent. Now, there are some that really love a variety of scents, and I don't know how they do it, because I find it so difficult to find something that works with, my own body, that also doesn't cause me to have a headache, or just that I can stand, because there are also a lot of scents that make me think of negative things too, or just, it's like, to me, when I choose a fragrance, I don't want it to be something that I think, oh, that smells so old, or, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's like there were certain scents that were really emphasized at one point or another, and it surprises me that so many could wear, say, a certain scent. Every time I smell that, I don't understand it, but I don't need to understand it, right? But just because it may have been something that was popular doesn't mean that it was necessarily the best or very good, and especially for so many, for instance. But that's not really what we're talking about, more along the lines of finding your signature scent, which that's hard to do. If you say you follow an influencer, such as myself, and they recommend something, I feel like that's not something that one could really recommend, only because it's personal. Scent is so personal to each person. I love this, but there may be someone else that really dislikes it and thinks that it smells horrible, and I take no offense to that, because I could think that their fragrance smells horrible to me, or it gives me a headache, or whatever the case may be. So it's really personal to each person, hence finding your own signature scent. Never feel like you need to choose a scent based off of what someone else's scent of the year is, or what they're enjoying at the time, because I don't know, I've just never found that to be the case, where I can just hear about a scent that someone is using and think that it will be perfect for me, and so I would just order it online without going and smelling it and testing it on myself. One of the things that I've done in the past, especially when it has come to finding a signature scent or a scent that I would enjoy, would be to go to the department store, or to go to, say, Ulta, and test it out. Or it could be anywhere, even like a TJ Maxx. I've done this, and I try it on, and I'll walk around the store and see, like, I'll just keep smelling it on my wrist and see if it's something that I still like by the end of my time there. Sometimes I found one that way, like I found Rosy Quartz that way, which I found that at TJ Maxx, and I love using that. I don't have it here on my dressing table. What I have on my dressing table is Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. This is one that I've really been enjoying, and I found this when I went birthday shopping one year with my sister-in-law, and she said maybe we could, you know, find a scent that you would really like. And out of everything that I smelled at the store, this is one that just kept sticking with me. It just made me, I kept thinking about it and going back to it. And so this is the one that I got, although this is my second bottle of it, and the other bottle was bigger than this. But this time I thought I would go with this one and then see if maybe I want to try something else for a little while. But I really like this one, and this is the one that my husband really likes. When I did a blind scent test on him with 3 different scents that I had been cycling through, and this one, I have decanted this one. I found this really beautiful little perfume bottle at Hobby Lobby years ago, and I just loved this very, very pale blush pink top. Had gold accents, and just the bottle itself, it just seemed so vintage and beautiful. And so this one has Versace Bright Crystal in it, and so I decanted it into here because one of my daughters wanted to wear it as well, or she asked if she could, you know, use that perfume. And the funny thing is, I was okay with her taking the rest of it just because I hadn't been using it as much as I had been using this one. And you don't want your perfumes to go bad, and you know, you definitely want to use them. Let's just say that. Perfume can go bad. And I don't know if this is something that maybe you do, but maybe you try to save your perfume. I would encourage you to use your perfume. I put on perfume every day. It doesn't matter if I'm just going to be around the house. It's that scent that, you know, I, number one, like to smell on myself, and just when I spray it on myself, it's like an instant mood booster to, you know, spray it on, and it just helps me finish my whole look and to feel like, okay, I am done. I'm ready for the day, and I feel amazing. I smell amazing. I just feel so good. And then I'm, you know, using those things that one would associate with me. So my children would think of me whenever I come into the room, if this is what I'm wearing, or if I had been in the room, and, you know, things like that. Not that that's the only reason, but that is a really wonderful reason. The other thing about this Versace Bright Crystal, I was never a fan of the bottle. I really wasn't. I felt like it was a little too futuristic looking. I didn't like the really big crystal on the top. I felt like the whole bottle was misshapen and not proportionate or something. I don't know. I can be weird about things like that. But when I found this, I just thought, oh, this is great for travel. It's great just to have. And especially if this is the one that I'm using most of the time, I kind of like to have things simplified. Now, I have this atomizer, I don't know how you would pronounce it, but this I found at Michael's, and it does not have perfume in it. This has a setting spray in it that actually has a rose scent to it for, you know, just a facial spray. And I like to use this, of course, after I'm done putting my makeup on, but I also just love the bottle so much. And recently they had the same bottle, but in a slightly different color. I think it was like a cream or a beige kind of glass bottle portion of it. And I have that in my dressing room, and it's kind of just like a little decoration right now. Maybe I will end up decanting some of my other perfume in there. But I have that other one. I like to also keep roller balls in, or I don't have the exact terminology for it, but it's, you know, one that you would just roll on. So I have a roller for this perfume right here. And I actually found that roller on Poshmark, and I put that in my purse. I also have one for bright crystal as well. That one's a lot thinner and skinnier, and so it just depends. It depends, and you know, sometimes you just want to change it up, but for the most part, this is the one that I've been using, and I really love it. So I would love for you to share with me if you have a signature scent. What do you like to use? And also, please let me know, is this something that you make sure to use all the time and you're not just saving for someday? I really hope that I can encourage you to use those things that you have, even if, you know, something like a perfume, which is pricey, right? You spend more money on something like this, that you use it all the time instead of allowing it just to sit and to go bad. Then what good is it? So use your beautiful things, including your signature scent, and I guarantee you, you will not look back. Today's dress of the day is by the brand Joie. I think that's how you would pronounce it. And I found this at TJ Maxx. I have this same dress design in 2 other dresses, but of all of those dresses, they have a different fabric feel to them. And this one I especially like because it has such a beautiful floral print on it, and I was immediately drawn to the floral print, but I questioned the background color, which leans more yellow. And it's kind of a different yellow. It's a cream, but has a yellow base to it. And at first I thought that this wouldn't look great on me. And when I showed my daughter it, because she was with me at the time, she said, I don't know if you like that because it has yellow in it. And just because we had, you know, talked about certain yellows not really looking great with my skin tone and whatnot. And anyway, I said, well, I'm going to try it on. And not only that, but it was in a size that was not my size. And I thought, well, you know, just looking at it, it looks like it could be okay. It's stretchy in the top area. I'm sure it should fit. I will make it fit. And anyway, I made sure to try it on. And this is one of the great things about visiting the ladies' dressing room, to try on your dresses, because never feel like, say there's a specific dress but they don't have it in your size that you can see, you may want to try on another size because it could possibly fit you, especially with the way some dresses are made today. It's not like, I mean, when I was wearing a lot of Gal Meets Glam dresses, for instance, they were a specific size. There was no give to them, and not every Gal Meets Glam dress, but you know, certain dresses are cut in such a way and use materials that maybe are not as stretchy. You can't, there's no leeway in size. So a lot of other dresses though today, there's some leeway, I feel. And so I'm not tied to a size, meaning when I see something, if they don't have my size, I'm not opposed to trying a different size. So anyway, I tried this one on and I was so pleased that it fit. It looked great. I do feel like the shoulder area could be just a tad bit larger than I would like it to be, just because of the way it sits. But overall, the rest of it looked great. It does look like it's a little puffy looking simply because of the fabric that's used, but I still love it. I love the way that it flows, and the colors within it are absolutely beautiful, which we will be discussing color stories. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video where we will discuss that. But I was just so pleased with it, and it's, you know, one of those dresses, once again, that I found at TJ Maxx and just love. So don't be too tied to a size. And of course, our sizes fluctuate as well, and that's nothing to, you know, get too bent out of shape over. And you know, when I saw the size, I'm thinking, oh, is that the size that I'm in now? Well, you know, it's something that fit, and I really liked it. Today's dressing space comes from Kim in Japan. She said, my dressing table is the top of my dresser. I try to keep it neat. My makeup is in the top drawer so I can pull it out when I'm getting ready. My jewelry is stored in the second drawer. The photo is of my mother and me on my first birthday many years ago. Kim, that is such a beautiful dresser. I really love the shape and style of that, and especially the drawer handles. Those are really pretty. So you have everything displayed in such a beautiful way, and I love that you think of those different ways that you can minimize what you have on top by storing it, you know, in your drawers, and just thinking along those lines, because especially when we have certain things that we're looking forward to displaying, we like to see out, that doesn't mean that just because we use that space for something that we have to have everything out. And your floral arrangement is so cheerful and beautiful, and I love that picture of you and your mom. Thank you so much for sending that in, and I would encourage you, if you have not sent in a picture yet of a dressing space, I hope that you will as well, and that we can all gain some inspiration from a dressing space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that this video inspired you in some way, and that if you do not have a signature scent, that maybe that would be something that you would take some time to find for yourself and to indulge in, as well as to make sure that you wear. And with that, I'm going to leave you here, and I hope that you will choose beauty every day.